In the beginning, there was Earth, a world full of contradiction, life and death, creation and consumption. For millennia, we called it home. We built cities that stretched to the skies, dug holes deep into the planet's crust, and burned the air we breathed. We conquered every continent, mapped every ocean, and split the atom. But with every leap forward, we left scars behind. The oceans rose, the crops failed. Nations turned against one another for the last drops of oil, the final breaths of clean air. The world didn't end in fire or flood. It ended in slow suffocation, gasping under the weight of billions and their dreams. But even in the end, humanity did what it always does. It escaped. When the Earth could give us no more, we looked to the stars. Massive colony ships, powered by technologies once considered science fiction, began to push into deep space. Hundreds of thousands left behind everything they knew, placing their hope in artificial wombs of steel. And in that great expansion, one discovery changed everything. Beyond the boundaries of known space, we found a gate, a wormhole. Vast, stable, ancient. Possibly not natural at all. We called it the Eve Gate. On the other side, we found a galaxy untouched by human hands. An entire region of stars, bursting with promise. We named it New Eden, and in New Eden, we thrived. For a time, we believed we had found our salvation. Colonies sprang up across solar systems. Megacorporations that once controlled wealth on Earth now governed planets. Religions were reborn and rewritten. Artificial intelligences managed economies. Harvesters mined entire moons, and humanity, for once, felt limitless. But nothing built so fast can last forever. Without warning, the Eve Gate collapsed. A blinding surge of radiation scorched nearby systems. Ships that tried to return were lost. And then, silence. Earth, gone. The gate, sealed. The lifeline that had fed every outpost, every colony, every dream, severed. Chaos followed. Planets fell. With no supplies, no reinforcements, and no guidance, the outer systems collapsed into war, famine, and decay. Civilizations regressed. Technologies were lost, remembered only in myths. Spaceflight became superstition. 1,000 years passed. A dark age, silent and absolute. And yet, humanity endured. On scattered worlds, we survived. And slowly, very slowly, we looked to the stars again. 5 civilizations rose from the ashes, each shaped by the suffering they endured, each believing they were alone, until they weren't. The Amarr were the first to rediscover spaceflight. From a desert world ruled by a single unyielding faith, they saw the stars not as a place to explore, but a divine inheritance. They believed themselves chosen, and that others were born to serve them. Their empire grew rapidly. When they encountered the Minmatar, they enslaved them, calling it salvation. Their golden ships, blessed by their priests, became instruments of submission. The Minmatar tribes, scattered and subdued, never forgot their freedom. Their culture survived in whispers and ritual. And when they rose in rebellion, they did so with fury. Though technologically weaker, they were resilient, adaptive, and unwilling to kneel. Their republic was born not from ideology, but defiance. Even now they fight, not just for territory, but for identity. Meanwhile, the Gallente Federation emerged as the inheritors of Earth's liberal traditions. A melting pot of species and cultures, they built a society grounded in democracy, art, and personal liberty. Their people valued expression and innovation, but beneath their ideals lay steel. When the Caldari seceded, the Federation did not hesitate to use force. The Caldari were once part of the Federation, but they saw its values as chaos. They believed in structure, profit, and control. After a bitter war of independence, they built the Caldari state, a nation ruled by megacorporations, where loyalty and productivity replaced elections. Their ships reflected their philosophy: clean, sharp, efficient, and deadly. And beyond them all were the Jove. Mysterious, reclusive, and advanced beyond comprehension, the Jove had not forgotten. They had not regressed. They had evolved. Their mastery of genetics and cybernetics made them appear nearly divine, but even they were not spared tragedy. Their bodies, engineered for perfection, began to fail. A disease, neurological, degenerative, incurable, tore through their population. They withdrew, watching from the shadows. But they left a legacy. From the depths of their science, the Jove gave us something new, the capsule, a small, self-contained pod that allowed a pilot to control a ship with their thoughts. More than that, it could store and transmit the consciousness of the pilot. When the body died, the mind lived on. In a clone, in another capsule, on another station. Death, once absolute, was now a mere inconvenience. The empires quickly adopted the technology. At first, Capsuleers were rare. Government agents, loyalists, warriors of the state. But the technology spread, and with it came freedom. Capsuleers broke away. They formed their own corporations, alliances, and fleets. They carved out regions of lawless space and claimed them. They built stations, waged wars, traded fortunes, and betrayed friends. In time, they became the most powerful force in New Eden, not because of their numbers, but because they could not die. You are one of them, a Capsuleer. You were not born in a cradle. You were printed in a lab. Your mind was uploaded, your blood replaced, your flesh cloned. You sit inside a pod of fluid, surrounded by neural linkages and quantum circuits. When you die, and you will, you'll wake up in a new body, again and again. You are not a soldier. You are not a hero. You are not a god. You are an immortal with a ship and a choice. In New Eden, you can be anything. A miner scraping ice from dead moons. A trader moving goods through war zones. A pirate who hunts the weak. A diplomat who unites alliances. A spy who brings them down. But remember this, the world does not care who you are, only what you do. Nullsec, the lawless frontier of space, belongs to Capsuleers. No empire governs there. No court protects you. Alliances rise and fall in hours. Fortunes shift in the span of a single battle. The largest wars in gaming history have been fought there, not by developers, but by players, by people like you. The stories of New Eden are real. Corporations infiltrated and collapsed from within. Armadas worth tens of thousands of real dollars destroyed in ambushes. Leaders betrayed by their most trusted allies. Legends born, not because they were meant to be, but because they acted. And yet, deeper mysteries remain. There are ancient structures, abandoned yet active, built by civilizations long gone. There are sleepers, AI constructs that guard long-forgotten secrets, drifters who appear without warning, hostile and alien, abyssal anomalies where space folds in impossible ways, and far, far away, the Eve Gate still flickers, broken, but not dead. Some believe it can be reopened. Others fear what lies beyond. What kind of force could sever a galaxy? What kind of intelligence might wait behind a sealed door, forgotten for millennia? But that is not your concern, not yet. Because today, you wake up, in a capsule, somewhere in New Eden, a blank slate with a name, a ship, and a future not yet written. You will kill. You will lose. You will learn. You will lie. You will trust and be betrayed. And if you're lucky, you'll be remembered. Because in EVE Online, there is no endgame. There is no winning. Only surviving. Only legacy. And now, it's your move.